Welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're coming across my channel, or you're looking for some kind of a lesson or people that teach Igbo spirituality and Igbo cosmology, then this channel is the best channel for you. But what I do here is I deconstruct some of our ancestral perceptions, some of the things that we know, and some of the Eurocentric interjections that we have about our culture and our spirituality, and refine it by giving it our own interpretation, our own African Igbo ancestral interpretation to what these concepts mean. And for today's topic, I'm going to go through the concept of Nso Mmiri. Nso Mmiri. Now, gini bụ nso? Nso are principles, moralities that is attached to every spiritual concept that enables us to have an interaction with that spiritual concept and to be able to have a relationship aligned with them, and basically have a relationship that kind of balances our existence, which means we have Nsochi, Nsawu, Nsobodo, Nso Mmiri, different kinds of concepts, spiritual concepts, and we have an Nso, sets of moralities and principles that enables us to interact and basically have a relationship with them. And whenever you fail or you default or you go against your Nsochi, Nsawu, or Alose, it disconnects with you until you're able to fix the problem, what you did that defiled your Nso, and you're able to reconnect with these ancestral or cosmic beings. Now, for this particular topic, I want to go through Nso Mmiri, and I also want to link it to the issue that we are facing these past few days because of the death of the actor and other crew members. Now, first of all, I want to reinforce the fact that this accident or incident has nothing to do with water spirits. We know water spirits to be disciplined spirits. They look out for justice, they are kind, and they are pure. Unless you actually do something that will trigger them to want to punish you or want to do what they want to do, because they want you to understand the temerity, or to understand what you've done and to fix it by performing some rituals in order to reconnect with them. But they don't just act out, and they don't just do what they want to do. There has to be a reason why they are doing what they are doing. So this incident has nothing to do with water spirits. First of all, we need to have a good interpretation, which is that water spirits are kind and they are pure and they are not vengeful. Now, my mother told me a story. She said that in her community, that Mmiri ade Nyoma, that before anybody would drown, the water is going to throw that person up like 3 consecutive times before the person will drown. Now, what it is doing this is that it is trying to give people the opportunity to rescue those people, to rescue the person that is drowning. And if that does not happen, unfortunately, the person would be drowned. Now, and then I look at what she's trying to say. She now said, one thing that I picked out is that she said that Mmiri ade Nyoma. Now, from what I know now, what can I say that Mmiri ade Nyoma means? I can say that if you're a good swimmer, if you have the skills to survive inside a water, it strictly means that you know that water, you know how to survive. Now, people that live within riverine areas, they make it a core mission to teach their children how to swim. Now, when somebody dies, they bury that person near the river because they see it as a taboo and as a deterrent, because every family wants their loved one to be buried very close to them, and they are seeing the grave, they can visit the grave and all those things. But when the person dies in that water side, some of this river area, they see it as a taboo, because you are supposed to teach that child how to swim. And that even makes me look at culture and say, what is the essence of culture? Some of the cultural practices that we have, they serve as a deterrent or as a control mechanism or a tool to control people, preventing them not to engage or to do some certain things. So this is what culture does. It helps to create order, it helps to create balance, it helps to create a unique understanding of why things happen and how it should be done, or how it should be handled, in order to basically prevent chaos. So every culture, everything that we know could be looked at two ways, but somehow we just spiritualize it. So this is what they tell Mirada Erionyo, and people saying, oh, Mira Manrigi because Ibu one Miri. That does not make sense. If you like be one Miri or one crocodile, if you jump inside the water and you don't know how to swim and you don't have any life jacket, you are going to drown. So it is not a matter of, oh, this water does not eat people from my village or people from my community. What they are telling Amirade and Leonyoma, it means that you have the skills to survive, which means you can swim or you know how to keep yourself afloat for a couple of times before you are being rescued. But aside that, let's assume or to presume that our ancestors actually had this unique relationship that water would never drown, would never ever drown people from that community. But why would they extend that same courtesy to us? Why would they extend that courtesy to us in this modern era? We that don't even love and respect our ancestors, water spirits or deities. Why would they extend that courtesy for us? They don't have to extend that courtesy to us. They could extend that courtesy to our ancestors back then because they know that these people loved and appreciated them. And it could be because they served as a source of a water source for them. They go and they appreciated their existence. But today, many people, they have sachet water, we have boreholes and all those things that we no longer respect this water. Even people within the ordinary community, with the way we perform sacrifices, we still don't honor and respect water if we go by that mandate or dictate. So what are the things that our ancestors considered as Nso Mmiri? The first one is that our female ancestors who are menstruating do not go near or enter any river. Now we could say that because our ancestors drank this water, this was like the source of them where they get their drinking water from, they could see the menstrual period of a woman to be dirty. Once you move into that water with your period, you can soil a drinking water source for these people, poisoning it for other people that are also going to drink. So this could be one of the main reasons. Now secondly is that spirits in our cosmology perceive the menstrual period as, because they have this thing, they tell you that when it comes to blood, they don't accept human bloods. Natural spirits do not accept human blood. So when a woman is menstruating and is going before this deity or before going into the water to do anything, they are seeing it as you feeding them that's human blood, and it's an Nso Mmiri. It is something you're not supposed to do. Now the second Nso Mmiri we have is our ancestors do not kill any animal or cruelly tie up animals and throw them inside the river in the name of Pajan Mmiri. Now we see what people are doing these days. Somebody goes to perform water rituals and the next thing is they are slaughtering an animal inside that water. They are slaughtering, or they will tie up the animal, they will tie the hands and the legs and throw that animal inside the water. The animal would drown. But what is the real way how water rituals are performed? If you want to kill a cow or a goat or a chicken, you would go to the Ihun Moor. Every water spirit has a particular shrine. You would go to the Ihun Moor. When you get there, you would now stay there and you would now perform that sacrifice. You would now slaughter that animal there. But you don't slaughter an animal inside the water. You don't. But this is us, because we don't learn and we just disregard everything. We are just doing whatever that we want to do. Now the third Nso Mmiri that we have is our ancestors learned to perform water rituals without littering and turning our water into filth. Now this is a modern day problem and should be tackled. Luckily, the water in my community, they've employed people there to safeguard that river. So if you go there to perform any water ritual and you're pouring plastic, they will tell you to go inside there and bring it out. Now if you cannot go there, you will pay them You would pay them to do it for you, to clean up that water afterwards. And we see people occasionally, they will gather, they will sweep, they will cut grass, and they will do all those things. Because what our people know in this modern era is that we just want to take, and we don't want to give. Back in the day, all these waters, they had a dedicated day when women would gather, men would gather, they would go into those places and they would clean those environments up. But us now in this our age, we don't think we know is to perform water Nso Mmiri, Ndotu, Nkanwa, but we don't do the necessary things of cleaning up that water, and it is a problem that we need to learn how to fix. We need to learn how to perform water rituals the right way. And what's the best way to perform water rituals? Our ancestors used fruits. This is what they got, and this is what they used to perform their water rituals. They don't even use the Fanta, the beer, the alcohol. They use fruits to perform water rituals, because those fruits can perish, and those animals inside, the fish, the aquatic animals, can actually also feed on it. They can also feed on the other, the biscuits that we use. But all these things, they have some sort of chemicals and preservatives within them. So what our ancestors used for their water rituals were majorly fruits. So we need to revert into using fruits instead of using this Fanta and throwing in all manner of plastics into the water. Yeah, but some Mmiri that are defiling and degrading and disrespecting that water. And we can actually even look at it as this water has people that are living there. If somebody casually comes into your home and destroys your homes, litters your home, would you be happy? So we need to see this water as people's home, as a home that belongs to some certain kind of energy or entities. So we need to also respect them by doing the right thing whenever we go there to perform water ritual. Now the next thing is that our ancestors did not perform dark rituals in our water, but these days all manner of okite activities have been done using our rivers as a fortifier. I went to perform water rituals one certain time, and when I got there, I looked inside the water and I saw a very dark cloth that was it was wrapped with something inside it, and I was like, what is this? I had to change my location, because I'm like, I cannot come to the begging for something that is good, praying, God for something that is good, and I'm not going to see something of a dark material around there. So I have to just shift and look for another good location. I'm just doing out of instinct, but I couldn't, because my mind already was soiled with seeing that dark cloth that somebody threw inside that water in the name of performing a water ritual. These are things that you're not supposed to do, but we are just doing it. Now finally, politicians and dangerous people, individuals, are now using these rivers as dumping sites for human carcass in order to hide their crimes. So that's just it. People they will just push you up and the thing is that even this our cultural practice of burying the dead, if somebody drowns, they will bury you inside close to the water. It's even helping these people hide their crimes, because maybe some of these people that they are just bringing out and burying immediately did not really drown. They did not really drown. It could be like somebody killed them outside and they will just carry that person to the beside the water. And when people that are guiding and protecting and taking care of the river sees, or fishermen sees the person, they will hastily take that person up and just bury you. Then they are now helping these people to cover their crimes, and all these things will now generate some sort of animosity, some sort of dangerous spirits that will just be there, and they would now want to torment people, take people's life, cause accidents, and all those things. So these few ones that I listed here they are not the entirety of what Nso Mmiri is, but they are just the ones that I just basically pointed out. We also need to know that some waters that you don't go on some certain days, you don't visit on a certain day. These are just, they all just have cultural precedents that I think that it should be respected, and for some reason it is no longer good enough for us. We can also liaise with these spirits and make an adjustment. I'm a strong believer of amen thereby. If you do for A, also do for B. We just don't have to do something just because we can't do it, because we don't know the reasons why some of these things were done or they were instituted. But culture is the totality of a people's way of life. So because it is the totality of our way of life, it has some foundational elements that we need to first of all take note of. And we could say, oh yeah, we're now in a Christian era, or we're now in a time we don't believe in all those things. Well, but we need to work with information. And because we cannot, logic alone is not enough to process or to interpret some of these belief systems. It now requires that we need to placate them at both angles before we make decisions. And that by doing that, we're also protecting ourselves from any negative backlash from these spirits. Now, finally, for you to understand Nso Mmiri, you need to understand the Nso Mmiri of the one that is in your community. Nso Mmiri could be a general thing, but every water or river has its particular own. So I believe that because our ancestors saw this thing this way, and we currently are now having the new information, we can actually marry the both of them. And by doing this and also doing that, we're able to like protect ourselves. And this is the best decision that any of us can actually make for ourselves. Now, until next time, if you have any question, I'm also available to attend to any question. And until next time, Yagasi, have a wonderful time.